Okay, SPLs, Scholar Practitioner Leaders, Data Scientists. Welcome back to our Week 8 oral lecture for our Statistics for Data Science, Section MSDS 531 A01 for our first by term here in the fall for 2025. Guys, I want to go ahead now and speak on our four assignments that we had from this past week seven. Like I said, those assignments were really indicative of everything that we have talked about in our course, especially the quiz and that practical connection assignments, where you can actually tell me in your own words how you actually felt about our class and how it has been truly beneficial. At least I hope so. And from what, well, I don't have to say hope because I actually read them, guys. And I'm really want to thank you for everything that you guys have said and how much you have learned in our time together. As I really do appreciate that. And I like how you have told me that this course has really been beneficial in regard to understanding statistics in a granular manner and now not so hesitant being afraid of statistics. So that kind of made me chuckle on a couple of you guys saying pretty much echoing the same sentiments. So again, thank you guys. And I'm glad that this statistics course wasn't too terrifying for you guys, for the ones who mentioned that. And that means a lot coming from each and every one of you guys. So I'm glad it's helped you in your practical tense, those working in the workplace, and also for those who are, once they move beyond the University of Cumberland, that they have a good grasp of statistics from what I can see now from what you stated to me. And again, that really bodes well for me because that lets me know that I've given you material that's going to have a lasting impression on you guys, even once you leave our time together and actually start working for those who are just full time students or even part time here at the University of the Cumberlands and looking forward to working and applying your statistical analysis, your data inferencing, as well as your deductive reasoning when it comes to understanding how to do the extrapolations of data when it comes to your statistical analysis. So I know you guys are looking forward to that. And I appreciate, again, the commentary. So I know that you guys are. So that was really well received. So, and also those ones who are actually working in your respective fields, I'm glad it has truly been beneficial to you. So thank you for that. And I am really feeling really inspired from my data scientists. So thank you guys for all those great comments. Okay. But yes, so that practical connections piece, as you can see, was more reflection. The quiz was pretty much the same thing, again, as I was speaking on in regard to this 8 weeks and what it's really been about. But it was focusing on those chapters in week 7. So that's what that quit and the carryover from week 6 as well, as you guys saw, as well as those other two assignments, the overall doing your discussion post where you guys really shot feedback to each other and really communicated in regard to understanding your peers that hey, what they were speaking on really was, in fact, something that you could relate to. And I really like you guys' feedback to each other. So let's talk about each of those assignments, okay? So, as I just previously mentioned, we had those four assignments. And the first one that I really liked that you guys enjoyed, as I was just speaking on, was that discussion post. You guys really nailed that. And you really took my question and really ran with it. And that's what I was hoping. And you guys really, from what I can see from the sample size, really got a good understanding of what I was looking for. Especially when it comes to understanding the overfitting and huge combination of parameters. So you remember the question that I asked was when scientists build models, which is you guys, they work hard to avoid overfitting to reduce the drawback of overfitting the huge combination of parameters, it has to be managed from your own experiences and reading. I wanted you to explain what are the major problems of the overfitting. And all you had to do was really dissect the chapter, and you guys did for the current week. And then how would you fix the problems you mentioned? You guys nailed that. So, and that shows me that you read the chapter that was due for the respective week. And then thirdly, it was three items. You had to explain the compromises related to the model of making sure that after the problems of overfitting are resolved, was there anything that you had to do to compromise on? And if it was, you had to explain to me why is that so. So you guys was really elaborating on that, and that shows me that you understood the assignment. You inference it very well. You're inferencing, and that's what it's all about, guys. Here in statistics and data science, you got to be able to interpret what you're doing in regard to understanding the data and really understanding what it's about and what you're trying to get out of it. And then you give me your inference, your overall conclusion on what you was actually dissecting. And you guys nailed that. So that was an overfitting and huge combination of parameters assignment. The second assignment was making sure that you understood the practical connection, as I mentioned earlier. You guys nailed that, so I'm not going to repeat a dead horse again. But it was all about just your experiences in the course and what did you gain and how has it been beneficial, either in the practical sense or here in the theoretical sense, because some of you are not actually working in your respective fields, as I mentioned earlier, and you guys nailed that. So that was really good. And then the third assignment was that project for overfitting issues. Okay. And I really like that, guys, because that was the one that I told you last week in week 7. Hey, I just want you to follow directions. Show me that you can follow the directions. I gave you 3 PDFs, as I mentioned in my oral lecture last week, and you guys showed me that you did actually follow directions, because I didn't get I didn't get any questions on the assignment. So that's always well received. I like that when you guys really take the onus and you grab the bull by the horns and you roll with the assignment, because that shows me that you understand what I was wanting from you and nothing was too ambiguous or you didn't have any type of uncertainty about my directions. You followed them to a T, and that's what it's all about. And that's what I was wanting to make sure on that particular assignment, that you guys did follow directions of that project. So that overfitting issues, we had that whole section in the book for the chapters. You guys nailed it, nailed it, nailed it, as I just spoke on in week 1 of 4 lecture, talking about the overfitting issues for that respective chapter. So as long as you took those good notes, as I told you last week, when it's time to do the assignment, you're going to nail it. But you got to take your notes, guys, because trust me, I don't care how good you are or you think you are. Even me, I had to always take notes, making sure that I understand everything. And you guys already gave me some warm sentiments on the note taking throughout our time together, and I appreciate that. But you see now, when you take great notes, when it's time to do the assignment, hey, you know, by taking those notes, oh, okay, this is what they're talking about. This is what Dr. Mark wants. He wants me to do this, blah, 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 blah. You get it. So that's why note taking is always imperative. Okay. Okay. So remember, as I spoke on when it comes to this project for overfitting issues last week, I said that this project is all about, again, the overfitting, and it's based on chapter 6, the SML, right? From our book. So all you had to do was utilize those 3 PDFs, F1, F2, and F3, and then cover it in the project following those 5 areas that I wanted you to really expound on. And the first one, which you had to do, as I explained last week, you had to explain the actual data from the first PDF, which is F1, and the second one, you had to explain the differences in A and B parts of F2 PDF, right? And then the third one was you had to try to create with the R or Octave tool a close or possible, as close as possible. And I wasn't too picky, and I won't be too picky grading your assignment. Okay, so as I've been looking at your assignments, you guys was really doing a great job with that. And I'm all about giving 100% effort. And that's the one thing that you guys have done. My SPL data scientist has always given me 100% in your effort. And I give you huge points for effort in this course. You guys have been tremendous with that aspect. So all you had to do was, try to recreate the R, the octave, as close as possible from the figure F1. Okay, functions. I gave you the functions that was needed. Life was good. There was two areas out of section 3 that I wanted. Number one, as I spoke on last week, you had to explain how you can recreate F1. And then part B to that was now all you had to do was compare and discuss F3 with the figure that you created. And that was it. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, I'm not trying to trick you up or anything like that. As I told you last week, I want to see if you understand and can you exude and show me what I want. And then the fourth item was you had to base the F3 PDF on your data creator. Explain how you would have made a decision tree to classify either plus or zero or O. Similarity with the way it was done in the left tree in F2. So you had to compare those two trees, F3 and F2, right? And then in your own opinion, uh, that's when I wanted you to give me your emphasis. Okay, you had explained to me why is it practical or useful to simulate the data for the classifications, and that was it for the assignment. In regard to making sure that you understood the project for overfitting issues. Okay, wasn't too strenuous. All you had to do was follow step by step, and you would have been good to go. And that's it. And that's what I all I wanted. Wasn't try to trick you up. It was really a fun assignment. And if you look at it that way, I know, like I told you last week, it's going to be all fun. You'll see, oh, you know what, Dr. Mark was right. It is kind of fun. Just taking my time, getting in a quiet place, making sure that, hey, I got it. I see where he's coming from. It's really cool to really understand how you could compare and contrast each of those PDFs. Okay, F1 through F3, guys, and that was pretty much it. So it was all about comparison, and then you create your own graph, which is really cool. Okay, then we saved the best for last, which is the quiz. I'm always giving you guys quizzes because I want to make sure that you're getting what I'm selling to you in regard to our assignments, as well as reading the book material as usual. So I gave you those 20 questions. Okay, half of them was multiple choice, and the other half, as usual, was in fact true or false. Okay, now the quiz, guys, was all based on clustering. It was quiz number 6. It couldn't get no more straightforward than what I presented to you. I wasn't trying to trick you up. It was a great quiz. It was all about the material that we had spoke on in week 7. Everything that I want you to read, and make sure you take great notes. Listen to my lecture. Take great notes on my lecture. You would have been very successful on this quiz. And guess what? As far as the bell curve on the quiz, I'm gonna say the average score was probably about a 92. Okay, a lot of you guys took it easy a little bit because I guess we're winding down and you're so ahead in the points. I think many of you just wanted to get the quiz out of the way, and I get it. But those are still 20 points you could always use, and many of you are so far ahead on points. Like I said, the bell curve was a 92, and I'm okay. I'm always trying to at least get a 94, but I'll take a 92 in regard to my curve in regard to our class. So that's okay. So good job, everybody. I'm happy with the results of this clustering quiz number 6. Like I said, there's no areas to go over because I didn't see where it was a whole bunch of dots, everybody missing. The ones that I saw that was missing, that's how I know people was really relaxing. It was just sporadic. So it was normal distribution. Okay. So I'm okay with that. But it wasn't a main area that was really heightened that I need to talk to. So that I need to speak on. So Nothing to speak on the quiz. You guys got your results from the quiz. You know the ones that you missed, okay? I didn't see no heightened urgency to discuss anything. So great job, SPLs, data scientists. Okay, so when we come back, lecture 3 or 4, we're now going to go into this week's material, which is week 8. And we're going to talk about all of our assignments as well as our learning material. So when I come back, we will go over our week 8 material. See you guys in just a second. Bye bye.